Folks, it is actually happening. I said this on Monday's podcast, but it all came true. We got the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 5 trailer, and we got confirmation on the release date, which is September 18th. So this thing is right around the corner. Usually we get a little more notice on when a show is actually going to drop. So I think this is very interesting that they are dropping this. I mean, we got like a less than a month until the premiere of season 5. Now, of course, the big question off of last season and how we ended it was the Monica Garcia reality Von Tease of it all. Now, Monica Garcia is not coming back to this show. In fact, she actually made some comments a couple weeks ago where she said that Bravo had invited her back a couple of times. I don't think for like any kind of friend of or housewife role, but like to make an appearance, and certain people within the cast, and she highly insinuated it was Lisa Barlow and Meredith Marks, kind of said, hey, we're off the show if she comes back. She also said that Whitney was very supportive of her. It was Lisa Barlow and Heather Gay. Whitney and Meredith Marks were very supportive of her potentially coming back for a guest appearance. But that kind of flavors or shadows this entire season. It's like going from that kind of extreme, and what a season finale that was on season 4. How are they going to deal with this? Because think of it, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City has now had the Jen Shah debacle, and Jen Shah is in prison, and you have Monica Garcia. So the big question is, can these ladies deliver without Jen Shah or Monica Garcia? Now, this trailer kind of says that they can. I thought this was a classic Housewives trailer. It got me excited. It did what it needed to do. We saw conflict between Meili Cosby, now a full-time housewife. She is not a friend of. So we got that conflict with her and Meredith Marks. Meredith Marks has been in Mary Cosby's corner for the last couple of years, and now they are going to be fighting with each other. I love that. I'm like, yeah, they're going to be fighting with each other. I that's so sick that I get so excited about that. You have Whitney, who seems like she is like potentially spying on these ladies at some point in this trailer. And also it is heavily alluded to, I think from Heather Gay, that somebody in this cast is in communication with Monica Garcia. They don't say her name, but there's like, it seems like this trailer is like, it's heavily paranoid, if you will. So I think somebody reached out to Monica, and I think that person probably is Whitney. But I like that there is going to be this underlying thread of paranoia this season, because they don't know who to trust. They don't know if they can trust each other. They don't know who's creating a fake Instagram account. They don't know who's reaching out to press. I mean, that seems to be a really intense place to start, and it was an intense place that we ended. Okay, so some details before we get into this. We have Lisa Barlow, Heather Gay, Angie Katsanevas, which, by the way, they didn't say this in the trailer, but I heard a rumor. Did you hear this? Angie K, she's Greek. Yeah, no, that just came out. I think somebody reported on that. You have Meredith Marks and Whitney Rose, and then Mary Cosby, full-time cast member. And remember, Mary Cosby quit / was fired after ditching the show's season 2 reunion, but then she rejoined last season as a friend of. These details are from an article in Variety by the amazing Kate Arthur. So we have some new people joining the cast to make up for the absence of Monica Garcia. You have Bronwyn Newport, but it's spelled Bronwyn. What is it with these Bronwyns? And she's a full-time cast member. And then you have Britani Bateman and Meili Workman, Meili Workman. They're joining the cast as friends of. And I will say this, I think it was about 6 months ago or something, I gave you guys the exclusive on these cast additions. My source turned out to be completely correct, so that's great. Bronwyn Newport, according to the Bravo press release, quote, arrives in couture with her over-the-top fashion and a sense of humor as sharp as the diamond she wears. So that kind of shows, hey, listen, this is fancy pants. This is Heather Dubrow of Salt Lake City. It says she's a longtime friend of Lisa Barlow. Bronwyn makes a splash with the ladies with her outrageous, fabulous, and confrontational style. Now, Meili Workman, in the quote that Bravo gives, says, her hands full as a model with 4 young children and a husband at home. Listen, I am the same way. I have my hands full as a model, but I don't have kids. She's originally from California. Meili was raised in the Latter-day Saints. She was raised Mormon. She moved to Utah to be more involved in the church, but ultimately decided that the faith was not for her. So you can already imagine scenes with her and Heather Gay and her and Whitney, because remember, Heather Gay has gone against the church at this point. And that's what I always loved about Salt Lake City, and I found it very unique as opposed to the other Housewives franchises, is that there's this solid background of religion in Salt Lake City, which makes it different from other housewife iterations. Not just the Mormon church, but you have whatever religion Mary, I mean, isn't Mary the God in her church? I mean, you have all of these different religions, and it provides a really chilling backbone to this franchise. Okay. And then as for the other cast member, Brittany Bateman, she is a real estate developer, an actress, and an accoladed singer in an on-again, off-again relationship. Wow, that's a triple threat. Real estate developer, actress, and accoladed singer. Not just a singer, accoladed singer. It's like the Adele of Utah. Brittany is introduced to the women through her friend Heather, but bumps heads with a few of the ladies from the jump. When Bateman was reported to be in the mix for season 5, the blogs accused her of having some troubling social media activity of her own, which may be why Heather Gay's bio for this season, it says in part, quote, Heather introduces her friend Brittany to the group, but when Brittany repeatedly puts her foot in her mouth, Heather can't continue to defend her. This is what I'm talking about. This is like more paranoia. You got to think these ladies think they are being attacked at all sides repeatedly. Now, remember, Heather is the one that led that charge against Garcia and, had the iconic line, receipts, proof, timelines, screenshots, which was just huge. Which, by the way, they announced the Emmys, right? And Traders got nominated, Vanderpump Rules got nominated, but I think Salt Lake City truly deserved a nomination just for that finale episode alone. So also in the Bravo announcement, it says last season's dramatic and shocking finale skyrocketed into the zeitgeist with reenactments from celebrity fans and quotes in a congressional hearing. In fact, last season saw an 18% jump in multi-platform viewership from the previous season, and the show's first reunion episode brought in the highest audience in over 2 years. So multi-platform, of course, you guys know it's just not Bravo anymore. It's Peacock, repeated viewings, DVRs. So, let's, you guys ready to get into this? Okay, let's set the scene. We open up and it is a full moon in the seedy, dark streets of Salt Lake City.
Never in a million years, after everything we've been through, did I think that you would reach out to our sworn enemy.
I sought out proof and was given the proof.
You're recording us?
I am disgusted.
You're the biggest liar in Utah, you big fake.
You're lying about me. You're lying about me. I didn't do it to you. We were friends. How could you do this to me?
This season on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Welcome. Do I look like a serious driver?
You do.
I have a reservation for 8 Lisas.
8 Lisas. I love that.
Do you love that?
You had carbs and eating pasta? Oh my gosh!
Oh, great. I f***ing love this new Mary.
I ate dirt.
Oh!
This is my friend Bronwyn. Bronwyn is everything you could want in a friend. She's funny, she's witty, she's got the best wardrobe. Bronwyn is not here to make friends.
You don't want a hug from me, do you?
And I don't trust her.
You're going to need to get your words in order with all of this proof because you have been telling everybody a different story. If you don't want my support, you don't got to take it.
You know how that would kill me if something ever happened to you.
It just felt like a stain.
You have to know I love you more than anything.
My daughter does need me. Like, I don't let her sit and game till 2 in the morning.
She's talking about my parenting. I'm a great mom.
That's a low blow.
I don't think you've been a good friend to me lately.
You've been a f***ing bitch to me. You're not always the victim.
No, I am not.
Have a good day, okay?
Yeah, you
Have a good
used
day.
me for 3 years. I
Have a
got
good
the
day.
memo.
You're sneaky little snarky little something.
Leave me alone.
Get out of my house.
You shouldn't open up to anyone in this group. And I'm sure she can hear me now.
I have built everything I have.
On the
Businesses
backs
are
of
real.
other people.
You can get that wig off your head. You will never be me.
Oh my God.
She is a
Don't
liar.
call my wife a liar.
She's a liar,
She's not a
Justin. She's a liar.
I don't think she has a recording device in here. How do you know? Well, I've watched
Oh, wow, guys, that's the trailer, which I think provides us so much information, so much to dissect, potentially be wrong about, potentially be right about. So let's dive into this again, and I can kind of describe and what I think is going on. And also, let's also just think back to last season, how many great moments. I hope Meredith Marks gets another moment of like, you want to talk about the husband? Oh, we can talk about your husband. But you can leave. I just hope, I want that. And you have the Whitney of like, I'm just here to provide good entertainment. I think everything's good. Mary Cosby sharing an emotional scene with her son, which my thing was, I didn't think Mary would ever be bumped up to another housewife again because I didn't know if she was going to be willing to share what's going on in her personal life. And I was completely wrong because she has a very tough scene with her son, which we'll get to. Okay, so full moon over Salt Lake City. Let's start this again. By the way, just the chilling. Is that a violin? I'm not good with music. The intensity. It's like Eyes Wide Shut. Okay, we see the Mormon church. Dun.
Never in a million years after everything we've been through did I think that you would reach out to our sworn enemy.
Never in a million years did I ever think that you would reach out to our sworn enemy. Heather Gay always has this ability to make it sound like she's in like Bridgerton or something. Like, who goes around talking like sworn enemy? Like, if you don't like somebody, you're like, I don't like that person. But you're like, that is my sworn enemy till death. Till death. It's Shakespearean. She really knows how to pepper a sentence.
I saw that.
Oh, which, by the way, then we have what I also love about Salt Lake City, the choral music in the background, like, oh, 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 oh. Okay, and then Whitney speaks up.
Proof and was given the proof.
So she says, I thought proof and I was given the proof. So we can only assume, you guys, that the proof, like what would you need proof about? And I think it's going to be proof about reality Von Teese, right? About Monica Garcia. Because that's what I think. I think she's the one that reaches out to Monica because she was trying to figure out what actually happened and saying she was given the proof, obviously in some sort of heated moment with the other ladies.
You're recording us? I am disgusted.
And that's Meredith Mark. You're recording us? I'm disgusted. Yeah. I hope they're all wearing wires. I hope everybody's wired up. Not just the Bravo mics. I'm talking FBI mics, Homeland Security mics. At this point, the FBI and Homeland Security, it's a good bet that one of these ladies has done something else. So better safe than sorry. I hope they are mic'd up to the gills.
You're the biggest liar in Utah, you big fake.
And then that's Mary Cosby going, you're the biggest liar in Utah, you big fake. So that's kind of like you little girl, but I think it's like a new thing for Mary, like you big fake. So that's like a t-shirt slogan potentially if that takes off.
You're lying about me. You're lying about me. I didn't do it to you.
Okay, so also I want to point out, you can tell from the audio that there are things in between these lines. So I don't think this is I don't think this is the exact dialogue. I feel like they're a little Franken editing again, but Lisa Barlow is like, you're lying about me. You're lying about me. I didn't say nothing about you. Like really into it.
We were friends. How would you do this to me?
Okay, that's a we were friends. How could you do this to me? Now, who is that? Angie K? Is that who's saying that right there? I think that's who's saying that right now. And potentially she's saying that to Lisa Barlow, because I know they have a dust up this season. I could be wrong on that one, because remember, they're not showing pictures of the lady saying it. It's just in voiceover. And also, just so you notice, we all know this at this point, but it's worth pointing out that Bravo trailers do the same thing. They start with this intensity, and they usually do, like, pull little clips or audio, and they make it really intense where you're like, holy shit, hold on to your coal mining asses. And then it'll all fade to black, and it'll be like, this season on the funnest show you've ever seen. And then we see a bunch of like fun things and bikinis. And then it kind of works its way like through that next 30 seconds. And then it starts taking a dive into the darkness again. And you usually end with some kind of funny little button. So you'll have some character be like, a womp womp, and then it ends. So we had all that intensity.
This season on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Welcome. Do we look like
Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. It is fun in the sun, baby. We see inner tubes, we see bathing suits, we see one scene where it looks like the cast is dressed up like Troop Beverly Hills. Remember that Shelley Long movie from the 80s? Everybody loves this. It looks like they're dressed up as that. We see a race car outfit, so obviously they're doing some kind of activity where they probably go to a racetrack and they're like, don't crash into me, Meredith. Like, I'll do what I want.
serious driver?
You do.
I have a reservation for 8 Lisas.
8 Lisas.
Okay, so obviously we know another episode is where Lisa Barlow has all of the ladies wear Lisa Barlow attire. And that's going to be something, Summer House does this a lot to great, and they use it really well, as costumes. Like every weekend, there's some sort of costume, some sort of event based around the costume. And it looks like, Housewives do that a lot as well, but we've seen a lot already in this preview. So obviously one event is where they all dress up like Lisa Barlow, and you have Lisa Barlow at the front desk of a restaurant going, I have a reservation for 8 Lisa Barlows. And all the ladies are like, 8 Lisas, which sounds so intense. Just how much Diet Coke and Taco Bell that 8 Lisa Barlows would go through.
I love that.
Do you love that?
More fun.
Carbs in the pasta. Oh my gosh.
Oh, great. I f***ing love this new Mary.
Okay, so then we see zip lining. We have a day of zip lining, and we see Mary Cosby, who you can tell they were like, Mary, if you want to be in this season, you're going to have to share, and you're going to have to do all the activities. And Mary's like, well, please say there's no zip lining. Oh, there's zip lining, Mary. So we see Mary, and there's like a GoPro attached, like, so you can see her face, and she does not look pleased. And then you have Whitney going, I fucking love this Mary Cosby. So obviously this is a new and improved Mary Cosby coming into this season.
Ate dirt.
Oh! This is my friend Bronwyn.
Okay, so this is our introduction to Lisa Barlow's friend Bronwyn, and you guys, she shows up in her first outfit. She has some sort of fur that is in the shape of the heart, and then we see this outfit, which is like a leopard bra, leopard panties, a leopard jacket, leopard shoes. This is leopard, right? It kind of looks like leopard. It kind of looks like a traffic cone, but she's walking down like one of the wet, mean streets of Salt Lake City. And you're like, what's this girl wearing this for in the mean streets of Salt Lake City? You get hurt.
Bronwyn is everything you could want in a friend. She's funny, she's witty, she's got the best wardrobe. Bronwyn is not here to make friends.
You don't want to hug.
Okay, so Lisa's saying all these amazing things, and we see clips of all of her fancy outfits. And then Heather pops up in a talking head and says, Bronwyn is not here to make friends. And I will say, if you look at the photo, the cast photo, guess who's right in the middle? It is Heather Gay. Heather Gay made it known that she is the alpha. At the end of last season, she is the alpha. This is Heather Gay's show, whether you like it or not. And I'm really curious what that kind of power does to someone. And I know we're just talking about Housewives, so it's not that deep. But a lot of these Housewives, once they hit their 3rd season, they're like entrenched in the insanity of it all. And sometimes they haven't come up for air at all. So they get really too into Housewives, and it can change them. Now, remember, Heather Gay also announced that her 2nd book will be out in December. Now, that's fascinating because I didn't think this season would premiere in September. I thought we were looking at like a November launch date. So it looks like September. It looks like the show will probably wrap up right when Heather Gay's second book comes out, which is really smart marketing. Okay, so then we see this little scene with Bronwyn and...
And I don't trust her.
You're going to need to get your...
So Bronwyn, I think, and Heather, and, you know, Heather pretty much says, I don't trust her. And then we're at a scene on the slopes, and Heather Gay is
words in order with all of this group because you have been telling everybody a different story. If you don't want my support, you don't got to take it.
Okay, so Heather's like, you're telling everybody in this group a different story, so you got to get your act together. And she's like, if you don't want my help, I don't need to give it. You don't. So she seems very unaffected, very not phased. And that's wild. So if you have an alpha saying, this is how shit goes, and then you have a other character, a newbie, which usually you got to be on your P's and Q's, but a newbie saying, I don't care. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? I'm rich.
You know how that would kill me if something ever happened to you.
I just felt like a stain.
You have to know I love you more than anything.
So this actually is, all joking aside, this scene really breaks my heart. I can already tell it's going to be a really sad episode because if you have followed anything about Mary's son, he seems to be in some trouble with drugs. And you can read all about that and everything. And I think the law got involved. And this is a very, very, very real moment from Mary. She seems like she is crying from the heart. And her son is literally like, I feel like a stain. Like, I feel like a stain on this family. And I'm sorry, whatever your opinion is of Mary Cosby, and I have some strong opinions about Mary Cosby, this kind of scene, I'm telling you, these are the scenes that make Housewives. I know all the craziness and all the stuff and the receipts and the timeline, blah, blah, blah. That's amazing, right? But this is the foundation, I believe. If you have these scenes, which are so shockingly real, you can afford to go as crazy as you want, but we need these real scenes. So as painful as this probably was for all of them involved, I'm really happy they're sharing it.
My daughter does need me. Like, I don't let her sit and game till 2 a.m.
Okay, now finally we're talking about it. We're talking about the not just drug addiction, gaming addiction. And this is Heather Gay speaking to Angie, I'm Greek, Katsanevas, and Angie saying, hey, listen, I'm a good mom. I don't let my kids game until 2 a.m. And she's obviously talking about Lisa Barlow. And remember, Lisa Barlow's one son is on his Mormon mission. And we must be talking about the little entrepreneur son that's back at home gaming until 2 a.m. And now we have a scene of Lisa Barlow.
She's talking about my parenting. I'm a great mom. That's a low blow.
She's talking about my parenting. I'm a great parent. That's a low blow. And it looks like she has some sort of like big thirst buster type cup in her hand while she talks to Heather saying this.
I think you've been a good friend to me lately.
You've been a f***ing bitch to me.
Okay, so then we have a dinner scene where Lisa Barlow is directly confronting Angie K, and Lisa Barlow's like, you haven't been a good friend to me lately. And Angie K is literally like, this is my time to shine. And she stands up and gets her finger out in her face. I'm like, you better shut the fuck up. Like, that is like Angie K. Angie K wants to earn her spot. And remember the shit she had to go through last season with all the rumors about her husband and things of that nature. So I'm interested to see the flavor that Angie brings in. And you got to remember, they kind of shot like not too long after the reunion was filmed, right? So they were probably still in this insanity, and the fan reaction to all of this probably high on that, paranoid about all of it. So I think it's already going to start very charged.
You're not always the victim.
No, I am not.
Have a good day, okay?
Yeah, you used me for 3 years. I got the memo.
Woo! Meredith Marks going up against Mary Cosby. And this scene seems to be some sort of fight of like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm not afraid of you. And and Meredith Marks is like, you used me for 3 years. I get what's going on. You very much use me. I can see. And Mary Cosby's like, get gone. And that's going to be a shocking moment for Meredith, because Meredith is one of the only people that supported Mary.
Sneaky little
By the way, I'm way too hopped up about this trailer.
Leave me alone. Get out of my.
Okay, so now we're at another dinner, and Mary Cosby and Meredith are going after it again. And I believe Mary Cosby says something of like, you sneaky little snarky little thing, like you sneaky little snarky sort of thing. And I will say Meredith says something, but I kind of lost the dialogue because I was having to pay attention to the worst bangs I've ever seen in my life. I pray to God this is some sort of wig, because I haven't seen bangs like this since like horrible bangs, like horses, Courtney Cox in that Scream movie. I mean, it's a really bad bang thing. And Mary Cosby's like, get out of my house with your crappy bangs. And I mean, Meredith Marks could not have expected this from Mary of all people.
You shouldn't open up to anyone in this group.
Okay, so then that's Meredith Marks talking to Lisa Barlow, and in another intense scene saying, you shouldn't open up to anybody in this group. No, they're all listening. And then we have a cut of like Whitney listening up against the door, like, I'm trying to hear what's going on.
And I'm sure she can hear me now.
And that's when Meredith's like, I'm sure she can hear me now. And Whitney and Angie K, Whitney's like, oh shit, I'm busted. And like runs away from the door. Woo!
I have built everything I have
On the backs of other people.
Oh, damn. So this is at the Lisa Barlow, the 8 Lisa scene. Lisa's like, I have built everything sorry. I'm a very important business person. And Whitney's like, you've built it on the backs of all these other people. And then Lisa Barlow, in rage, is like, I'm going to pull off that shitty Lisa Barlow wig, and grabs at Whitney's hair.
You get that wig off your head. You will never.
I'm going to rip that fucking wig off your head.
Me. Oh my God.
She is a
Don't
liar.
call my wife a liar.
She's a liar.
She's not a.
Okay, and then we're obviously at Lisa Barlow's place because I see in the background. Wait, is that okay? No. I think we're at Angie K's place because there's like a photo painting in the background, and it looks like Angie K, her husband, and her daughter. And we see that Lisa Barlow is getting into it with Whitney's husband, and then her husband, John Barlow, is standing next to Whitney's husband, and Lisa's like, your wife's a fucking liar. And he's like, Justin's like, my wife is not a liar. She's a fucking liar. And he's like, don't fucking say that. And John Barlow is just sitting there with a smile on his face. He's like, awkward. This is weird. Like, can you imagine? Because they're like all broing out, right? Oh my God. I just, what happened to Coach Shah? Like, Coach Shah should be invited to some of these things.
She's a liar.
I don't think she has a recording device in here.
How do you know?
Well, I've watched a lot of television.
Okay, so then the little button on the scene is Heather saying, I don't think she has a recording device in here. And I think it's Meredith going, how would you know? And she's like, well, I watched a lot of television. But bump, tip your waiters, ladies and gentlemen. And right before that, you had a bunch of like quick cuts of the ladies, all with like Zoiks faces, like Zoik, Zoik, Zoik. Oh my God, Zoik, Zoik, like really intense. Dun, 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 dun. It's like quickly edited together. Really great. That's the trailer, you guys. We were able to almost do 30 minutes on a 2.5 minute trailer, but this is what gets me excited. We need this. I think OC's having a fabulous season. We came off a really rocky, weird season of Jersey, but this looks solid. I was really disappointed with Monica Garcia not being asked back, even though I understand why. I just think it would have been interesting to try to get more information, because I think Monica had a very weak performance at the reunion, and there were so many questions I still had. So we have 3 newbies. We have Mary full time. We have a lot of fights between the ladies, a lot of costumes. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic about this, but the fun starts September 18th. We will be covering it on So Bad It's Good. And yeah, maybe Heather Gay will unblock me now. Who knows? I don't know. Oh, by the way, they all look amazing. All these ladies look fabulous. Okay, that's it. Bye, guys.